Welcome back, y'all, to Sit Down with the Boss. We got the boss himself and his son, Fatman the boss. Before we get into it, y'all go ahead and like and subscribe to this page, to this channel. One time. Let's get into it. Trey, what is the importance to you? What's the important finding purpose?
Finding purpose in life to me. Finding purpose in life to me is essentially just a peace of mind. So, what I think a problem is with a lot of people nowadays is they're too caught up in trying to be like everybody else that they don't have enough time to actually focus on themselves and focus on things that they like. So everybody gets stuck in a rat race trying to be like the next person.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like how you said that, the rat race. That was dope. Fatman the boss. Let's talk. I know you have a shirt company. Let's talk about your shirt company a little bit. You know, things have you made? Do you just make things for your company, or do you make other things for other people? Like,
do both. We make crime family apparel, and we do a lot of custom designs, custom hats and things for different people. So it's both of them.
okay. And Trey, growing up in Molina, what was it like for you?
Growing up in Motown, I mean, as a kid, we don't really see or understand all the difficult and hard parts that go through it. A lot of people went through that neighborhood because, you know, growing up with my mom and grandma, they made sure that we never saw the difficult side to all of that. You know, all of the struggles that people go through, and then the way the police act over there, and you got these little street cats. I'm not gonna get into names and then specific, but there's people my age growing up doing dumb stuff, like paying each other to shoot up people's houses or robbing old people and things like that. So, growing up and seeing them things, and what my grandma always taught me is you see people doing wrong, so just make sure all the people that you grew up around, make sure you do the exact opposite of what they do. And she instilled that in my mind when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Like, she really sat me down and had me watch, you know, the drug dealers and prostitutes and things like that in the neighborhood, and say, like, see how fucked up their life is, and you don't want to live like that. So whatever you see them do the exact opposite.
So you got to see it. You got to see it.
Yeah,
she wanted you to see it. So a couple of examples,
right?
You know, so that you can understand what she was saying was true.
Right.
Understandable. And Fatman the boss, your intake on family and friends, on how they are today, then how when you used to grow up, how family and friends used to be. You know, how they are now, then how they are back then.
They was a lot more close back then. Just to be honest, it probably was a lot of the same stuff going on, but was like kept quiet. Like you see a lot of people that say family do the worst shit today. They probably was doing it back then, but just like with the way youngsters telling themselves now, they just wasn't saying it back then. So it might have been the same back then, but I mean, a lot of people would say you was a lot closer back then, and we did a lot more family functional things back then. I mean, every weekend, my godfather, my big cousin, or somebody taking us to a park, or they taking us to the beach. It was always something to do with family, but you know, it's still the same with family nowadays. It's just the times change. It ain't that family ain't the same. It's just the times change. The people think everybody gonna stay the same, and they don't do that anymore. It ain't about packing up with family no more and doing things like that.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that used to be hidden is in the light, so a lot of family ain't close as they used to be. That's what it really is. Family more like friends nowadays.
Just for how growing up, you know, doing different things, different patterns, you know, taken. That's what's up. And Trey, graduating from college and high school the same year, what that make you feel like? What was it like for you?
I was proud of myself. You know, I tried to act like I wasn't, but deep down I was. And just seeing like the expression on my mom, my grandma, my dad, all the emotions flying around, all of that. And then I never thought as a kid that I would graduate college before high school. I didn't even know that was possible. But yeah, even just things like that, I just humble myself and move forward to the next best thing that I got planned.
what's up. That's what's up. And Fatman the boss. How did it make you feel when you found out that your son was graduating college before he graduated high school in the same year?
Man, it was past proud. I ain't never heard nobody do it. So, you know, I'd be alive. I just say I was regular proud. You know, I don't got no friends that can say they kids did that. I don't even know a person besides my son that did that. So, I mean, it's even extra special because he mine, but it's even more special because I wasn't there enough for him and he still did it. You feel me? So that's the point that I be trying to get the kids
Real shit.
that
Real.
go through shit and be blaming that they didn't have a dad, his dad wasn't there like that.
That's
You
real.
know,
That's
he still
real.
graduated from college and he graduated from high school. Shit, he the least problem that anybody can ever have. So, I mean, I don't fall for the kids that say they grew up in a tough environment or without a parent. He did all that shit they talking about and he still did it.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Much love to you, Trey. Much love. Congratulations. Keep doing your thing. All right, Trey. Balance between grind and having fun. What's that for you, like, right now?
I say a lot of people my age, I'm 20 right now. I say a lot of people, especially a lot of my friends, are going through this whole thing. Everybody wants to party and have a good time, but at the same time, you got to make bread. That's the only thing. That's the only way this world moves. Everybody got to pay bills. Everybody got to eat. So you can either choose between working 60, 70 hours a week or just partying, getting drunk, getting high, and then you wake up like 5, 10 years later and you ain't got nothing. And then you want to complain about everybody else except for yourself. And I see that with a lot of my friends I have. Instead of finding a job and working or going to school, they want to chase girls, go to parties, things like that. And then these the same friends that complain about society or eventually, like me, I get tired of helping people that don't want to help themselves. And then they got the nerve to get mad at you. So,
Well, Ray's good. Ray's
Yeah,
good.
man.
yeah.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Good minded. Fat Man Boss, you just said that, you know, you wasn't there, you know, for your son. Can you go in a little bit of detail about that? Like, you know, so we can get a better understanding when you say that?
Yeah, I fucked up 2 girls' life with that player shit, you know, and shit, when they didn't like each other, it's easy for a nigga that ain't trying to be responsible as he needs to be to act like he gotta listen to 2 girls say they don't like each other so you can't see your babies, you know what I mean? And I could have controlled that situation with both mamas because they both had understanding with me, so that street shit like he was just talking about, that getting high, not want to do shit, nigga was in that pattern. That's the pattern you in when you living like that. So, you know, even in the streets, man, you have to get your priorities right. My priorities wasn't right. And I wasn't around my baby for a long ass time, dog. And shit, he did it by himself with just him and his mama. You know, I can't take no credit for him graduating from college and the person he turned into today. You won't see me sit here and say I take credit for that. It's his mama, Tiffany. So I can't take no credit for that.
Shout out to moms. Much love, moms. Good job. Good job. Shout out. Shout out. And when you say that, I mean, how old was you when you first became a dad?
19. Yeah, I was 19. Yeah, still in school. Whole football team shit. I think all I had 9th grade, nigga. All of us had failed a grade and had a kid already. You know, so shit, we were some kids, they told not to do it, that did it, so now we the ones telling the kids not to do it, you feel me?
Yeah. Trying to change the generation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Help put some balance in it.
Mm-hmm.
Real. That's real. Okay, Trey, females. What's going on with the females, or what you think about these females, or your intake with
Females. I think females could be a distraction if you allow them to. Back to what I was saying about my friends not being responsible or getting into partying, the whole thing, or just using females as an excuse to not do things in life. Instead of working long hours, you want to spend the whole day with a chick. And then when you're not around, you find out that she with somebody else. So, I mean, females, I don't know, it's just...
Touch and go.
Yeah, touch and go. I mean, if you end up finding a unicorn, hopefully I will one day. Then keep them around. But other than that, don't make your life just be about women and female, unless they deserve it. Some dudes they value women over time and money, and that's, you don't get nowhere with that.
Yeah.
And then when they start seeing that you're not getting nowhere with that, they dip off. So you're just messing yourself over in the end. But yeah, females cool.
Real talk.
All right, you got your head on right. Of course, 100% respect that. Fatman the Boss. Your high school days, what was they like, or what was your best highlight in high school?
I did a kickoff return against Coy Demmer, played for Mission. They was the number one in the nation in offense, number 8 in the state in rank. And shit, we beat them. And I did a kickoff return that really sealed the game for us.
And what position did you play?
That year I played tight end. Amazingly, I was playing tight end, a position I told them I didn't want to play. And I made not the Hall of Fame, but I can say the record books at Miller for that position.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The same position I played.
So, have your record been broke that you know of?
Nah, you go to Miller right now and go in the football stadium, that tight end still sitting there. Ain't nobody got it yet.
Yeah, y'all go check that out if you want to see Fatman the Boss.
Yeah, Fatman plays sports.
Yeah. So, Trey, I heard you say same position your dad played. So, that means you play sports too. So,
Yeah.
you got any highlight moments of your football that you can think of? Moments that you...
I say highlights probably my 8th grade year of school. I was playing against Hoss. You know, I played tight end and wide receiver on offense, then defense I played cornerback. Now I remember before a play started, because we had a military coach. He cuss us out, do all types of things. It was military drills and stuff. He told me before a play, he said, "Do you want to make somebody fly?" And I said, "Yeah, that'd be cool." I get it. So he said, "Put your helmet between his pads and then lift up." That very next play, some little 4-foot kid got the football. Unlucky for him, he ran in my face. So I did exactly what my coach said, and his little ass flew into an ant pile. So, yeah. I say that was a highlight. I felt kind of bad afterwards, but you know, everybody started screaming and all that, so it was pretty lit.
Yeah.
The similarities between you and your dad.
I say me and him, we both got compassion for just like people in general. Like we really got the same. If you're around both of us, you'll see that we got the same mannerism. You know, hi, how you doing? Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. How you doing? Hold the door open. Excuse me. Just things like that. And then you, I don't know what we eat the same, walk the same face.
Everything.
Some reason I ain't got the eyes, too. I don't know how that works, but yeah, same little swagger. I'm just a little bit more like a little observant, but we still the same people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. And Fatman the Boss, how proud are you of your son?
Man, I'm super proud, man, because for all the youngsters that you see not acting right, for my son not to be one of them, you don't know how important that is to me. You know what I mean? I always say he the child I at least have to worry about. You know, him and Kaylin, I don't judge my kids different, you know that. But as far as just their pattern, their everyday routine, that person they manifested into, shit, I mean, I can't do nothing but be proud. That's it. I mean, I don't never have a reason to get mad at him. I've never had to call him and his mama say, "Man, you need to talk to him." None of that. You know, she'd just be a little worried that he gonna move out of town or something by himself. That's the only problems you get out of him, you know. And that's not a problem. That's mama being worried, you know. So I mean, that's the closest thing to your problem you'll get is adjusting to that he's responsible. That's it.
Oh, that's real. That's real. I like that. I like that. Trey, growing up without your dad, what was that like for you?
I would say it would upset me growing up because I always wanted a father figure because I grew up with my mother and grandmother, so it's a lot of feminine energy in the house. So like if we're at family gatherings, I would be like with my older male cousins and my uncle just to like get into like that masculinity, talking about females, sports, cars, whatever, instead of talking about hearing about nails and hair and dudes all day. So I mean, it's just the whole thing about like learning to be like masculine and the whole like principles of being a man is the stuff that I was missing out on as a kid. That was the only thing with that.
And Fatman the Boss, did all your kids graduate high school?
Hell yeah. They all graduated top of their class. They was all my kids are smart, man. I ain't gonna lie, dog. They all smart. They graduated high school with no problem.
And that's a good thing, It's something to be very proud of, and I know
I'm
you're
proud of all of
it.
them, man. They all walk the stage. Your parents always say that they just want to see you walk the stage. I did that first part, you know what I mean?
And you got to see it. That's a blessing, because, some people didn't get to see theirs, unfortunately. But Trey, back to, you said, you was raised without, grew up without your dad, But how did it make you feel to see your mom raise you and your brother, on her own?
I can't think of any bad things to say about it. She did whatever she could. I always made sure we were fed. Me and my brother, we can never say that we went to sleep hungry. I got friends that I went to school with, like, we haven't eaten in a few days, or we had to sleep in the cold. My mom never made sure that we never had to go through that. That's even as much as if we had to eat more, so she could have less to eat, she would do that. So she never let us see the troublesome side of raising two boys. She always just smiles, whatever you want, you get this, giving us gifts. Like I was at GameStop every weekend.
True superwoman.
Yeah, the queen, whole queen.
Yeah, she is.
So I can't never knock moms at all.
Yeah, man, real talk.
Shout out to moms again. Shout out to moms. Fatman the Boss. Growing up in Hillcrest, Texas, what was it like for you?
A lot of temptations, like I say, because the nigga chose to do the shit he did. It was good shit in the neighborhood, it was bad shit, Just like people take the drug dealers, it was the guy that would drive around on the church van, take everybody to church. It was the guy that would ride around and give everybody a job, sell a candy paw, which a lot of Northside people know. You had the right direction and the wrong direction. We had a lot of right, and we had a little wrong, but a lot of us chose to go with a little wrong, but that's where the money was going. But we had a lot of right in our neighborhood. Our neighborhood wasn't just fucked up. It was leaders over there. It was black people doing shit for people, and the drugs ran that shit out. Some of them leaders started using the drugs, different things happening, but it was just like any other neighborhood. You still had your own choice to make, and it didn't matter what was around you. So a lot of us just chose the wrong choice.
Yeah, so it was just no matter what hood you in, it's ups and downs to it,
Yeah, no matter what hood. You always got somebody like my son that went through the same shit you went through that made it, so you can't tell nobody you can't do it.
It's just what you're destined to be.
Yeah.
At that time growing up. But that's real. And Trey, fake friends, for you as a young man.
For me, I would say there's a lot of signs that I had fake friends, but I just didn't want to believe it or pay attention to it because I was so focused on having a big social circle. I'm not really like that now, but all I can say is if you having a conversation with one of your friends and then you tell them something good, like, hey, I just got this job, or I just got this car, or I got a promotion, I got an apartment, I got a house, something, and you see the conversation just go dull, because a real friend's supposed to like, hey, man, that's what's up, you feel me? And you got that person that's like, oh, that's cool, anyway.
Yeah.
Then, if you see all that, then just cut them off completely. After you see them that day, don't talk to them no more. Because I had to learn that the hard way when I first moved out of Corpus. And I was telling my people I thought was my homeboys, like, hey, I just got a job up here, I'm finna get an apartment, and whoop-de-whoop. Then I found out they all in a group chat talking about me because apparently I think I'm the shit because I moved out of Corpus. I don't know where the hell that came from, but that also goes to say, I should have just paid attention to the signs. Every time I talk about an accomplishment or something like that, the conversation just, they didn't want to hear it. You got a lot of people that, if they ain't got nothing going on, they want to keep you down there with them. So you see them getting away and they know that you ain't going to be there to help them out or, you know what I'm saying, you can't help them, pay for them when y'all go out to eat or things like that no more, then.
Well, just made the shutter just dependent on you.
Right.
Yeah, and they're not holding themselves up. So
No.
you more like being around people that are more strong and
Right. Like-minded people.
Yes,
Yeah.
stronger.
And then I don't have a problem with friends that are going through things. I know what it's like to have money and then lose it with like layoffs and stuff like that. But this is me, and this might be petty, but I really don't care. But if you go to like a low point in life and you're trying to pick yourself back up, I can respect that. But if you go to a low point in your life and you don't want to change nothing, you just woe is me and always asking people for help and then get mad when they tell you no, then we can't be cool no more. And you just gonna have to accept that.
Yeah, goddamn right.
Okay, Fatman the Boss, do you got any things like you can say to some of your friends, you know, parents that's out there, that's, you know, to give them, you know, letting them know that, you know, because I know because some of them be going through difficult things with their kids, and sometimes as a parent, you know, your kids can tell you some things that can hurt you. And I mean, have you ever been into a moment that, you know, where your kids have said something or, you know, that hurt you or put you in a moment where you know, you just needed someone maybe you need to talk to or just vent to or find a way that, you know, how did you get to your solution of, as a parent, you know what I'm saying, dealing with, you know, different difficult things with going on with your kids.
Yeah, I've been through that, you know, the difficulty with one of mine, you know. And at first it'll get to you because you be shocked that they talking that way, but you forget that they growing up and they're not gonna talk like a kid no more, you know what I mean? And they seen a lot of stuff growing up and they remember that shit. So all that's bothering to this child too, and it sound fucked up to us when they finally blow up. But half the time they not really saying nothing that's a lie, you know. And if you get the kind that's gonna lie and you do that shit, you know, you've been dealing with that shit with friends all your life. You really can't say you can't deal with it with your child because you deal with it with friends every day. That's what my son was just talking about. So I mean, what I learned, like my OG said yesterday, you can raise them how you want to. They got their own mind. Once they realize what they want to do, they understand the circumstances behind what they do, they're going to do what they want to do. And you're not a bad parent if your son went to the penitentiary because your son did something. You know, all you can do is guide them. That's all we can do is guide them. And you got to let them be grown. You got to let them walk their path. And you got to have enough sense to know that the mistakes they making ain't at your expense and it's not your fault.
Yes. As long as they don't understand what the Bible, you know, says.
Yeah.
It's a big, major thing that some of them don't understand or don't know, that it will help if some parents would reach out or let them read that verse, you know, a couple times. Because you ain't got to install it, but as long as you know that child has God in them, then that verse will be enough to make them remember that, you know, to keep that respect, to keep themselves on this earth, you know. But for you, Trey, back to you, living next door to a trap house. What was it like for you growing up in Molina? And it's a trap house next door.
It was crazy. Like, I mean, I thought it was funny as a little kid, but then you just think about some of the stuff. Like, this dude was doing like 2-for-1 deals with drugs and prostitutes. Like, and they have a whole. My grandma used to say like he had more customers than McDonald's. He had a whole drive-through up and down our street all day, all night. It was just, I don't know, just seeing the people who come over there that was strung out, or people over there like looking for dope, and the dude getting his house kicked in, and prostitutes getting beat up and killed, and things like that. It goes back to the whole, like, I see what that type of lifestyle will lead for me. I don't want to live like a stressful type of life, because you got to worry about people killing you, or this person not paying you, or dope deal is going wrong, or prostitutes getting up missing. You got the cops coming over every day. I can't be able to do all that. So I mean, I wouldn't say it was actually, I see it as a good thing, honestly, in my opinion, because it just showed me, you know, I got
what path.
Right,
Yeah,
I got my mom and my
paths.
grandmother, you know, just work, take care of what they need to take care of, and then you got the other side where that's just irresponsible, you know, people getting hurt, people accidentally getting hurt over something that they caused and just things like that. I don't want to go through that.
Fatman the Boss, your definition of life and happiness today for you is what?
Being, being able to give my kids something when they need it. My wife something when she needed it, that's it. Anything else, I ain't really concerned with it.
Importance of being a black man, Trey.
Importance of being a black man, I feel, and I see this when I used to be on social media, a lot of black women and children don't feel protected because there are black men out here like protecting our community, but you got some that's just, I don't know where they get this whole mentality from, but you got, I know a lot of people see it, like you got some black men that just talk greasy about black women all day and praise every other group of women when throughout history from back in the motherland through slavery, Jim Crow and all that, the only person that's been next to us is a black woman. And she's still here to this day, even though with all the stuff that we went through. So I think it's important to knowledge, build black families, raise black kids, teach them about where they came from and things like that. And that's where all the whole, that'll get rid of the whole self-hatred and old black women are this and that. Because I mean, all the black men that are in relationships, you don't hear them saying none of that. You just hear that from this one black dude that got his heart broken by a black girl. Now they all evil creatures or something like that. You know, I don't associate. I've had a couple of friends like that in the past. I've cut them off too. That's just ignorant. But yeah, just protecting the community, the family, the home base. Every time you see a black person, show them the respect, because we all go through the same thing. And, you know, you got people in the world. You got people in the world that hate us because of the skin color that we were born with. So, just simple things like I have an African sticker on the back of my car, and I was driving down the street a few days ago, and this brother like saw my car and he like threw the fist up. And it's just good to see that, you know, bond between all of us, because you got a lot of black people that hate other black people and can't even tell you why. So, yeah, I think it's important just to build relationships with black people, show black people respect, especially our black elders. Hold the door open, you see them, they need help or something, don't be, oh, I can't help this nigga out. Like, nah, like, why, it don't have to be that way. Yeah. Every other group of people, it's okay to help each other out, but for some reason with us, it's always seen as a problem. So don't be scared to speak your mind, don't be scared to stand up for your people. Yeah, that's.
And how old